Okay, so welcome to Unlock 2025. This is a goal setting and strategy sprint. We only have 90 minutes. They're about to kickstart and wrap up. I am asking God for grace. I was telling my team that part of the struggle I was having with putting this together is, what do I leave out and what do I include? It just seemed like there's so much that is important, but we'll take it one step at a time. And hopefully we can focus on the most important things. So I want you, as much as possible, to please find a quiet space where you can have this meeting. It's just 90 minutes. I also want you to have a notebook. I want you to have a pen with you so that you can hear me and take down notes. There's the quote that says the shortest pencil is longer than the longest memory. So it's important that you note, you take down things. Besides, we're going to be having a kind of mini workshop session where I'll have you answering questions in a rapid fire format, right? You're going to be writing down your answers, and that is something that I don't want you to miss. So please get your pen and your jotters or journals or whatever. Next thing is, I want you to tell me right now where you're joining from. For those of us on the call, where are you joining this call from? I am, the last workshop that I had was physical, really picturing all of you in the room, which is why I want your cameras on. And then, like I said, the session will be recorded. If you encounter any issues, please just put it in the chat board. Someone will attend to you, right? The tech team is on hand and somebody would attend to you. Okay, questions. I would prefer that you put them towards the end, all right? Towards the end. So thank you. Okay, I see Shongo Tedo, Lagos. I see Ghana, UK. Okay, thank you so much. For those of you that are typing, those of you who are not, I encourage you to participate. Participate. That's one woman, first stack. All right. All right, Uyo. Okay, great. I encourage you to participate because this is not one of those sessions where, you know, you just sit back and listen. It's one of those ones where you really need to get into it, which is why I would want you to stay in a quiet place. All right, time is going. I'm looking at the time and I'm like, time is going. We have so much to cover. There's not enough time. So here's what we're going to cover tonight, everybody. We're going to do a reality check to kind of understand why setting goals fail for most entrepreneurs. I want to start from there, and feel free if you want to share, your experience with setting goals, and if you typically achieve them all, or if sometimes you struggle with that. We're also going to be looking at strategic goal setting using the bridge method. I'm excited. I'm excited for that one. And then we're going to do like an execution sprint, a 90-day action blueprint to get you started. So my focus, because the time is so short, my focus is, let's get you to set some important goals for the year, and let's get you started with what you're going to do over the next 90 days. And I believe that as we do that, you're going to leave with a lot of clarity. Then I'm going to hopefully have a live coaching session. Again, a mini live coaching and strategy tweak. So if you're interested, I'm going to have maybe 2 or 3 people share with us what they have. And on the spot, I'm going to be giving you feedback, ideas on what to do, what to include. Yeah. And then power moves, your commitment to execution. My hope is that what you take away from this webinar is a very clear, high impact goal for the next 90 days. And you're also going to take away at least 3 critical action steps that you need to take to move your business forward. For some of us, you might eventually have more. And then I'm going to show you how to use the bridge method to set strategic, achievable goals for your business. Many times we set goals that are not strategic, we set goals that are not achievable, okay? And of course, I already mentioned the real-time feedback that I'm going to give to you to help you refine what you already have on ground. I don't believe that there's anybody here that does not have an idea of what they want to achieve this year, right? You may not have put pen to paper, but you do have an idea. Give me a thumbs up if you have an idea of what it is you want to achieve. Give me a thumbs up. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. I see y'all. Okay, good. Very good. Very good. I like the energy. Keep it up, right? We're going to keep up this energy. Okay. So let's get into it. For most entrepreneurs, there are common pitfalls, common patterns that we get into that really stop us from achieving the goals that we want. Number one is setting vague, unrealistic goals or wishful thinking. So when you say, I really want to make money this year, that's a vague goal. I really want to go global this year. That is very vague. Towards the end of last year, I met someone who said, I want to make 2 billion in 2025. That was his goal. What did you do last year? It was less than 100 million or less than 200 million. That's unrealistic, right? Except in the rare case that a windfall from heaven comes. So many times the goals are very vague, and that's part of why we don't achieve them. Other times there's no clear execution plan. It doesn't end with saying, I want to make 100 million in 2025. What is the plan for you to do that? And if there's no real plan, what you find is you keep procrastinating because you believe that there's time. Many of us overestimate what we can achieve in 1 year. True or false? Many of us overestimate. Feel free to drop your answers in the chat. I want this to be engaging. I don't know why you're not on videos. I'm going to start calling your name. I want you on video. I want your videos on. Okay, so I'm going to give maybe 5 minutes, but get yourself together and videos on, okay? And then sometimes we get very busy doing busy work. So you're the one in charge of buying fuel, calling the generator repair guy. You're the one in charge of, just doing the mundane. Oftentimes, that's also why we don't achieve the big goals that we set, because the big goals we set require that we are strategic in our thinking and in our action. Another thing is trying to do everything alone. So sometimes I get that it's budget, but there are other times where you've just not even opened your mouth to ask. You've just not even given yourself permission to find other people who can join you as a team to achieve goals. And I often tell my clients, everybody you need does not have to be a full-time staff. So sometimes that's the problem. We try to do everything alone, which leads to very slow progress. Then no accountability. If you're not accountable to anybody, if you don't have a board that you are accountable to, if you don't have, a team that holds you accountable, you're going to back off and say, you know what, I did my best, but it just wasn't working out. So what will make this session different? My goal is for you to walk away with a clear, strategic and actionable plan, something that you can hit the road doing starting tonight or tomorrow. I also want you to set up some accountability checkpoints so that you can stay on track. I also hope that we'll have the time for you to get live feedback that would help you refine your strategy. Everybody with me so far? Audio still good, right? Okay. So before we get into it, I'm not going to assume that everybody here knows me. So let me take 30 seconds to just introduce. I represent HillBridge Consulting on this call. What we do is work with businesses to resolve some of the biggest issues that they have regarding growth, regarding their leadership team, regarding stubborn challenges that have lasted for a long time. And our goal is to have more African businesses. That's our vision. We want to see a lot more African businesses thriving from generation to generation. So what we do is help SMEs improve their performance through advisory, consulting, training, all of that stuff. And then for me personally, my name is Ella George, in case anyone doesn't know, it's right at the bottom of my screen. My name is Ella George. Just a little bit about me. I've been doing consulting for SMEs. This is the 11th year. I started my career in banking, and just with a bit of trial and error here, I kind of figured maybe consulting is the way to go. And so I did an MBA, started with, other consulting firm, especially in the financial space, eventually started off HillBridge Consulting 2014. And I've kind of come full circle because right now I also sit on the board of a microfinance bank. So I'm still a banker of sorts. And being someone who works with a broad range of entrepreneurs, small business, micro business, large organizations, I've seen oftentimes that when goals are not achieved, it's not necessarily because they didn't know what they wanted, or they're not hardworking, or they're not smart. It's because execution is typically a problem, and the execution that is the problem often stems from the way we plan or the way we do not plan. Towards the end of last year, when I turned 40, I had divinely gotten the inspiration for the bridge method. So it is something that I have used, but it didn't have a name, and it didn't have the structure that it has now. I went to business school. I went to business school in the US. So I was exposed to a broad range of tools, frameworks, all sorts of things created by all sorts of companies. But the truth is, when you are trying to apply it in Nigeria or in Africa, it doesn't work as well, especially for SMEs. And so I had kind of figured out what worked for me, and that's what eventually came to become the bridge method. This was December last year, and it's been the most exciting thing so far. I've had opportunities to use it for even much larger organizations, and the feedback has been great. So I can't wait to tell you about it. So yeah, that's kind of like a bit of my story. I'm doing this, especially unpaid, because 2025 should not go the way that other years have gone. There's often a lot of disappointments that people encounter at the end of the year. And even when some have good years, they find it difficult to replicate and build on that success the following year. So I'm hoping that we can fix that this time around. Okay, so that's a bit about me. Let's go right in. Where are you now? I was in a session not too long ago where someone did something I found really interesting, and I would want us to try it here. So I want you to get out your phone if that's not what you're using right now. Your phone, your email, your WhatsApp. I want you to just scroll through, especially your cameras or your galleries, photos, whatever it's called. I want you to scroll through 2024 and remind yourself of all that happened. I think it's a powerful way of bringing to memory the wins, the challenges, the highs, the lows, right? So I want you to just scroll through right now, scroll through and see if you come across some exciting things that you had even almost forgotten. Remind yourself of how good God was. Who's doing that? I want to know who's doing that now. Are you scrolling through? Okay, good. I like that. So just scroll through. Let's take like a minute, 30 seconds, and just remind yourself of everything that you went through last year. Because if you're going somewhere, you first need to know where you are. And that matters. Okay. What was that exercise like? Who wants to tell me? Anybody? You can unmute yourself and just tell me very quickly. What was that exercise like?
Okay, let me mute myself. Hi, good evening.
Hi, what's your name?
Itero Lawrence for
Hi,
Workplaces.
Okay.
All right. So I'm just looking at my gallery. I'm laughing here because I was just focused on other people's business. I was not focused on my business. However, when I came to a point, I discovered that I did a rewrap of the whole business model and everything. But it was towards the end of the year that I started making impact. I don't know if that that is understandable, but towards the end of
Absolutely.
the year, that was when I had this reality check to
Okay.
do to start making money or start enrolling people into the programs that we had.
Okay. Okay. Was there anyone who flipped through their own? Thank you for sharing, Itoro. I appreciate that. Hopefully this year you can carry with the energy that you ended 2024 with, right? Was there anyone who did a run through their email or maybe Instagram? I don't know. Where do you document things? Just to see anybody? No? Okay. I'm looking at time. It's scaring me. The time is scaring me. Oh, 9:30 is so close, or 8:30 is so close. Okay. So for reality check, what I want us to do right now is think about where you are and where you're struggling the most. And I want you to answer in the group, in the chat right now. If you look at these 5 areas, and if you look at the areas where you struggled in your business last year, because no matter how good a year you had, there were some areas where you probably dropped the ball. Which was it for you? Was it that from the beginning of the year, your goals were not very clear? Or is it that you set goals, but you struggled a lot with execution? Or was it that you didn't have an accountability system? And so maybe you started lots of things and stopped? Or was it that you got overwhelmed with too many ideas? Or was it that you lacked consistency and follow through? Generally speaking, what was it for you? Which was the biggest? Okay, so I see consistency, all of them at different times of the year, overwhelmed with too many ideas. Okay, lacked consistency. Okay, so I see consistency as a recurring theme. All right. So at least you kind of have right now an idea of the one thing that you must not allow to happen this year. And I want you to note that down in very clear terms. In 2025, I am making a commitment not to struggle with consistency. Oh, I'm going to be consistent, however you want to put it. Or I'm not going to pursue too many ideas at the same time. I want you to just pen something down that confirms that I understand what I struggled with, and I'm determined not to have that same struggle hold me back in 2025. Okay. Are you done writing? Okay. So we're going to do a bit of, let's call it, it's not a rapid fire, but I want you to take notes, right? There's some questions I want to ask to help in particular with identifying how your last year went. So let's talk about your wins. If you set revenue goals for last year, did you reach your revenue goal? Did you improve your customer satisfaction or retention? Did you launch any new products? What were some of the wins or some of the top successes that you had last year? I want you to write them down so that you're not carrying only bad energy and saying, oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. One of my clients, whom I had asked to send me her figures for the year, came back to say she was shocked. By the time she got the statement from her 2 bank accounts in Nigeria, she was in shock at how much had passed through. So I want you to remind yourself of some of the wins that you had. Did you have some new products that were successfully launched? Did you have really high retention rates? That is a big win. Many businesses are struggling with retention, especially as customers start to find places where they can get stuff for cheaper. And then what were the biggest challenges or setbacks that you faced last year? What slowed you down? Write it down. What stopped your progress? What slowed you down? In your own words, write it down. Did you have maybe some financial bottlenecks, or was it cash flow issues? Was it the team? For a lot of people, I know it was their team. Or maybe not having a team. So you had some talent gaps, and it affected your growth because there's a lot you needed to do that could not be done. That's a big win. That's good. Thanks for sharing, Medina. We must also know what works so that we carry it forward. Was it your processes or your systems that slowed you down? I know it's easy to blame people, but sometimes it's also the fact that you've not put a clear set of process or procedure in place. So what were your biggest challenges? Write them down. In what area of your business did you turn your back on? So what were the things you neglected? What were the things you avoided? You know, oftentimes we do the things we enjoy. That's what we quickly do. And then the ones we don't enjoy, we just leave them on the to-do list and keep carrying them forward. Every new day, every new week, you're carrying the same thing and just pushing it down the road. So what areas of your business did you neglect? Was it marketing? Did you neglect sales, closing deals? Did you neglect customer service efforts? Did you avoid creating systems? Did you avoid hiring the right people? Marketing, sales, okay. Perhaps it was your personal growth. Sometimes you get so stuck in the rat race that you forget that you need to grow, because if you don't grow, your team is not going to grow bigger than you. Financial, lacked ideas of processes to marketing my products, marketing and hiring, but working on that. That's good. Okay. All right. Okay, that's good. How consistent were you with your execution last year? Here's what I mean. Of all the things you told yourself you will do, I'm going to do this every month. I'm going to do this, we'll have one workshop or one trade fair exhibition every month. We're going to put out 10 reels every week. We're going to sign on at least one strategic partnership every quarter. We're going to, hire a dedicated operations manager so that this, that. Think of all those things you told yourself that you will do. And then judge you're safe, score you're safe. How well did you do? How consistent were you? You were consistent for only 2 weeks. That's not going to happen in 2025, okay? By God's grace, that's not going to happen. Not just by God's grace, but also by doing, the right thing, which is why we're here tonight. So I'm happy that you're here. Did you stick to your plans, or did you constantly pivot? Overwhelmed with personal growth. Okay. Were your goals specific? Did you follow up on them regularly? Some of us write goals and never go back to them. So much going on at the same time. Okay, I understand. which is part of why what we're going to be doing today is spacing these things out. All right. It's one of the things I hope to help you do, to space it out so that there's no one time where you're overwhelmed and there's no one time where it just seems like nothing is, analysis paralysis, something similar, where you just have so much that, you know what, everything just, I'm done. Hopefully we don't get to that point. And then the most important question that I want you to answer as you look back at 2024 is, what lessons did I learn? What lessons did I learn that I want to carry over into 2025? For me, the biggest lessons from my 2024 were around my mindset. I finally came to a new level of understanding about, if your mind can see it, you can touch it. I came to that understanding. So for you, it may have been something you learned about the people you serve. It may have been something about the country where you're operating. It may have been like, what insights did you gain? Could be about your customers and what they want. Could be mistakes you made that you now know how to avoid. I was speaking with a client sometime around second half of last year, maybe early Q3 or so. And she was talking to me about some of the big mistakes that she made in choosing a business partner and how much it was going to cost her to get out of that partnership. And after all said and done, I told her it was better that this happened now, so that by the time you're getting into bigger places, bigger platforms, your business is bigger, you're not making the same mistake. So sometimes the lesson that you learned is what not to do. How can your business systems or your mindset evolve for better results in 2025? Write something down. If you are listening to me live or in replay and you're not writing as I'm speaking, you're doing yourself a big disservice. I promise you. Oh, you revamped your business and discovered there was a big market. Ah, you are? There you go. There you go. Yeah, I understand. I got you. Okay. So I want you to share with me, if you've not typed, I want you to type something. What were the biggest lessons you learned? What was the single biggest lesson, and how do you intend to have it shape your 2025? I'm waiting. I want to either hear from you or read from you. Yes. Bamiwale, feel free to unmute yourself. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. Hey, good evening, ma.
Why am I not seeing you? No, I won't talk to you if you're not on video. I won't talk to you if you're not on video.
Sorry, good evening.
Thank you. If video is not on, don't even try. I won't talk.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
I actually typed. I actually wanted to click on text, like send a message on the group on the chat. I didn't know I pressed my hand. Okay, so I was just going. So one thing I learned that I'm going to carry on into this year and even through all the rest of my life as much as I can is that many times you just need to do it. Many times you just need to start. Afraid, unsure, just put yourself there. And so I started that last year, and this year I think today is like 19 or 20, and I've things that I would naturally not do, or going out as much for personal development or business development things that I normally would not do. Now I'm just there. You will see me register, you see me be in the class, you see me and all of that. So yes, that's it for me.
Okay, very good to hear that. And I'm happy that you shared that lesson, because oftentimes it's easy to assume that you already know. forgetting that things evolve, and there are things that have gone to the back seat. You know how you have an account with the bank, but you've not operated it for a long time and it has become dormant. For many of us, our knowledge has become dormant because we're not using it. And sometimes it's just one encounter, one webinar, one conversation, one networking event that can trigger something. You now decide to use it, and all of a sudden you're seeing results. Meanwhile, you've always known this thing for a long time. So I'm glad that you're taking that seriously. Any other person want to share? Or do we go right into our strategic goal setting? Do we go right in? Ito, go ahead.
Thank you so
While I
much.
read from Tinuke. Okay,
As
go ahead. Go ahead.
As she was speaking, it just occurred to me that I went for a leadership event that lasted for like a month. And when they asked us for grants and everything, when they asked us to create a pitch, there was nothing to create. Then it was that moment I had this this prompt to create something that people would see, because I told you before that I was revamping the business. I saw a big market where I was. So at that moment, I couldn't articulate that in the pitch. So I got the review from the investors and all that. I said, oh, my pitch was not okay. So during that period and this year, I've been able to come up with something that if I want to pitch now, I will be able to do that.
That's good. That's good. Well done. Well done. And thank you for sharing. Very quickly, so let me read some of those here, because I believe that sometimes listening to others can trigger something in you. Chidima said it was a big year for me. Family came first. That's very good. That's good. Madina learns that she can't do everything alone. I hope I'm making an assumption that Madina is female. You see, I can't see you, so I don't know. My mind, importance of delegation. As long as my work is excellent, put your price. I like it, and add tax. Okay. Amazed by the big market. Okay, I read that. I realized if you don't market, you can't gain visibility. Very important lesson. Even now, I'm still learning this, right? Because marketing is not my strong suit as a person. Stephanie said regular meetings with teams, staying closer to core team members. Yes, because many times it's easy to assume that people are not doing things because they don't want to, but there are a lot of cases where they just are not sure what to do. But when you stay close, you get the feedback, you understand their strengths, and that can trigger things along. So good. Procrastination, delays traction. Tell me about it. This year, I'll take action towards achieving my goals. Love it. Challenges, opportunity for growth once I'm consistent. Okay. All right. There are a lot of opportunities. Just be ready to take and do something with it. One of my biggest lessons from last year, that it doesn't matter how good you are at what you do, you still need to do some form of marketing and putting yourself out there. Fantastic lesson. Tinuke, fantastic lesson. In fact, scratch that some. It's not some form of market. You need to do marketing and put yourself out there. Yes. Okay. Owen, I need to get out and be more visible. Tell me about it. Love it. Okay, good. Thank you so much for sharing these lessons. If you've not written anything yet, just know I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you soon. Just very soon. I'm gonna come for you. So now what we're going to do is actually set goals that you will achieve, and we're going to do it using the bridge method. Are you ready? No, let me go back here. Who's heard of the bridge method? Someone was harassing me that we've been sending lots of emails lately. Want to learn people marketing? Okay. Have you heard of the bridge method, everybody? Okay. So let me explain what it is. Oh, you haven't? Okay. So the bridge method is a framework that I designed to help businesses grow and build more sustainably. It can be used as an assessment tool, and it can be used as a planning tool. Now, bridge is an acronym, as you can see on your screen. Hopefully everyone still has the screen where they can see. You can see, right? So B stands for build foundations. R is for reinforce systems. I is innovate solutions. Don't worry, I'm going to explain. D is develop people. G is generate impact. E is evaluate and evolve. When I talked about the transformative experience that we're going to have this year, it starts with this framework because it really is 360. So what I want to have us do is we're going to have a rapid fire session. Before we get into the rapid fire session, I'm going to explain the core things that we address in each of these pillars of the bridge method. So when you think of build foundations, this is where we're looking at the vision that your company has, your business has. What is your mission? Why do you exist? Why should anyone care? What are your core values? What is your business model? Is it designed to be profitable? Is it designed to be scalable? Is it something that actually makes sense for the markets that you're in? What is your current financial situation? You know, what's going on with your finances? These are the foundational issues of any business. Okay, so those are the things we tackle with building foundations. Reinforced systems. Here we're looking at the processes that exist within your company. How do you get things done, right? The way one cleaning company works might be different from the way another cleaning company does. So what is it about you? What are your operation systems like? What are your financial systems? How do you handle money coming in, money leaving? How is your marketing system designed? What are the processes you follow to get your business out there? What are the processes you follow to close leads when they come on board? These are your systems. And so what we do here is look at how we can improve those systems. Innovate Solutions is about discovering, introducing or improving the products and services that you offer to your customers. So here you're asking questions like, are we really addressing the core needs? Are we adapting with the market? How are we serving the unique needs that our customers have? Those are some of the questions you're addressing here. What new products do we need to introduce? What new products, services do we need to create? Develop people. As you can imagine, here it's about gathering the talent, assembling the talents that you need, the skills that you need to learn or improve. It's about training. It's about coaching, mentoring, just improving people who will then run the business. Generate impact. Here, we're looking at money, yes, but so much more. How are you affecting the lives of those you come in contact with? Whether it's the larger community or your immediate customers, even the experience that you leave them with, all right? How are you adding value to people on a consistent basis? Evaluate and evolve is where you're looking at everything on a consistent basis to say, what can we learn? Where can we improve? When is this improvement going to be done? Who will we become in the process? How are we going to evolve? And this, like I said, is a framework that looks 360 at the entire business internally, and it helps you identify the things that are current strengths and the things that are current weaknesses. You can see where the opportunities lie, and it just helps you know how to prioritize. So we're going to get right into it. Is there anyone who does not have a pen and a notebook? Anybody at all who doesn't have a pen? Okay. I asked that question because I'm going to be asking you some questions that I want you to reflect on as we some questions that I want you to reflect on as we then think about what we want to achieve this year, what we want to do in 2025. So for foundations, like I said, these are the core things that prop up your business. What is the one thing your business should be known for this year? Write it down. What's the one thing you want your business to be known for? Do you believe that as things stand, your products and services are solving a real problem for customers? Is it a real problem they're still dealing with in 2025? And I need you to be honest with yourself. You're not going to show me this, but you better be honest with yourself. If not, you are going to attempt to fix the wrong problems. You're going to attempt to set the wrong goals. This is a foundational issue. Are your services and your products solving real problems, or is it just what you like? Do you have the right people in key roles to deliver value? Do you have the right people? Your pricing as it is it sustainable? I was working with a client sometime last year, and we had looked through different areas of the business, and the number one thing that was the issue was the pricing. Because of the pricing, she wasn't attracting the right people. Because of the pricing, there were a lot of opportunities she could not take advantage of. So right now, the pricing strategy that you're following, is it sustainable for both you and your customers? Because sometimes it pleases you, but it really doesn't work for your customers. What are your core strengths? What are your core strengths? What do you do well? What do people praise you for, come to you for? How can you maximize that strength? Apart from your inner circle, do other people, apart from your immediate customers, do other people even know that it's a core strength? Even your followers on social media, your mailing list, do they know? And the focus here is for us to get clear on our mission and the core offerings that we have. This is where you ensure that your business is solid and simple. So if you wrote down, I want you to, let me go over the questions again, because I need you to answer some of these questions. What is the one thing you want your business to be known for? The products that you're offering, the services that you're offering, are they solving a real problem? Or is it just something you're used to? Do you have the right people in key roles? The most important roles? The way some of us identified, marketing, sales. Do you have the right people? Is your pricing strategy sustainable for you? Is it sustainable for your customers? What are your core strengths? All right, moving on very quickly. I'm going to go to reinforce themes. And the goal here is to identify the gaps in your execution. Many of us already said earlier that execution is somewhere we struggled, whether it was execution or consistency with the execution. And so here, what I want you to look at is, when it comes to your operations, for instance, are your processes making life easier for your customers and for your team? Or is it just very cumbersome? When you look at how some of your competitors do things, do you envy them? That looks so smooth and simple. Where are you losing time? Think carefully about this. Think about the stream of your operations or your finances or your marketing, whatever the case may be. Where are you losing time? Especially on a day-to-day basis. What do you waste a lot of time doing? For some people, it's simply scrolling through social media. For some people, it's how long it takes you to make one reel. That's where you're losing time. Do you have a way of tracking your numbers? I told you guys earlier about a business that did not know they had made what they had made. If you know how big this business is, you'll be shocked that they didn't have a clear process for tracking their key business numbers. And when I say key business numbers, what do I mean? Gabriel, I'm putting you on the spot because you've not answered. Can you turn on your video and answer me, or do you want to type? Because I won't talk to anybody without video on. I'll assume you're typing. So we're talking about your sales, your profit margins, the expenses. Are you keeping track of these things, or are you just going with the flow? How are you ensuring consistency in delivering your service or the product quality? How do you ensure consistency? There are restaurants. Yes, yes, I'm sorry, it's rapid fire. Do you know why? John is complaining that the questions are coming very fast. It's also because I want you to write down the first thing that comes to mind. The replay will be available for you, right? But I want you to write the first thing that comes to mind, even if you're not able to answer every single question or write out every answer in full sentences. I don't want you to overthink it. I want you to be honest and just go with the gut, what you know as the answer. I'm sorry. Am I really? Yeah, I'm sorry, but I want it to be rapid fire. Okay. Can you simplify any of your current systems? One way, and those of you that have worked with me closely, know that I often ask this question. I often say, if you pick your favorite entrepreneur, somebody that you've studied their business, you like how they do what they do. If that person took over your business right now, what is the number one thing you know that they will do within 1 week? Anyone want to share? Stephanie, let's try. Who's your favorite entrepreneur, first of all?
It's very tough. That's very, very tough. But I guess the first person that came to my mind is the Emma grade lady who does a lot of businesses with the Kardashians. She seems to be popping to my mind immediately.
Okay.
She's good at partnerships and she's good at communicating. So I think probably one of the first things that she would do is to come in and check my messaging again and just make sure that my messaging is actually very on point.
Okay, that's good. Thanks for sharing. So I think it's an interesting way of opening your mind up to perhaps what you should be doing, because if you know and like somebody, you know what their strengths are, and there's a reason you like them, and you know that if they were to come into your business right now, they probably would not be happy with 1-2 areas, and there are things they would want to change, and that becomes sometimes an opportunity for you to say, okay, I'm going to do something about this. All right. The focus at the end of this is to strengthen what works and fix all of the things that slow you down. Fix all of the things that slow you down. Fix all of the things that slow you down. I'm not very good at repeating, but I will repeat it. Fix the things that slow you down. That is one of your keys to 2025. Fix the things that slow you down. I also want you to think of how you can introduce systems that save you time, systems that reduce error, systems that improve the results, consistent results. All right, let's quickly go to I. I innovate solutions. What are the common complaints? Yes, Mary Jane, fix the things that slow you down. What are the biggest complaints? What are the most common complaints that you get from your customers, whether you like to hear it or not, whether you have excuses or you have justifications? What are the most common complaints that you hear? If you've not heard any, you're doing something wrong. How can you turn it into an opportunity? Think about that. Whatever feedback, right? Whatever feedback that you've gotten from customers over time, how can you turn them into an opportunity? How can you improve or simplify your product or your service? How can you improve your products? How can you simplify your services? If you're not writing, you're doing it wrong. You can't think through this. Put your pen to paper and just trust that your mind will guide you. You have to be writing. What small changes can you make that will have a big impact? Think about it. What is one small change that will have a big impact? How can you offer more value without increasing your costs? What more can you give? Oftentimes, the things that can keep customers or clients don't have to cost us a lot. We just haven't asked the question, how can I add more value without increasing my cost? We just assume, many times we just assume. So the focus here is to do the small practical innovations that improve the customer experience. I want you to think, put yourself in your customer's shoes. Put yourself in your customer's shoes right now. What do you want more of? Where do you want a business that does what you do to add value to you? What would make you really happy to stay with them? Do you understand the question? Take a minute and tap any emoji if you understand what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to flip the situation, put yourself in your customer's shoes, and ask yourself, what would I want a business that does, put in what your business does, what would I want them to do for me? Okay, y'all got it. This is also one of those places that if you have a team, you want to go back to your team and ask them the same questions and be open to new ideas from your team members. Be open, because sometimes they are the ones that really face the customers. So you want to hear what it is that they think and then work with it. Over to D, develop people. So let's explore. I don't think there's anyone here who should not have people related, goals or solutions as part of what they're focusing on for this year. You should have something people related, either skills that you are acquiring or your team members need to acquire or improve, or new roles that you need to hire for, new roles that you need to get people in for. As of today, do your employees, all of them, know what is expected of them? It doesn't count that you've been shouting the same thing since you hired them, from the day you hired them. Do they have it in writing? Is it very clear? Or do you change your mind about your expectations every meeting? What training or support would help them perform better? If you don't have a team, what training or support would help you perform better? This is one of the most important questions. The same way I hammered on fix what slows you down is the way I'm hammering on this. What training do you or your team need in order to perform better? Are you recognizing and rewarding good performance? It's very easy to shout and scream about all that is not done right. All the areas that I've said this time and time again. It's very easy. But when they do the good, do you recognize them? Do you reward good performance? How are you helping your people grow as your business grows? Are you building a culture that people want to be a part of? I've had a number of clients. There have been cases where you'll conduct interviews, several rounds, finally hire who you want, and then on the day they're supposed to resume, you receive a call that they're done, they're not coming for whatever reason. Other times, you'll have cases where people resume, work 1 week, 10 days, and then disappear for good. Like they don't even wait to collect the salary for the little they've done. It's easy to look out there and say, oh, Gen Z, yeah. But are you building a culture that people want to be a part of? Some of us are running very toxic organizations. Some of us, the way we talk to people, it's no wonder we hire 7 people for one role in 1 year. They're not all the problem. You need to look at your culture, okay? And the focus here is how can I invest in simple ongoing training, clear communication, develop my people so they can develop the business. Like I said sometime in the beginning, it's not always about having full-time staff. With people, you're also looking at, mentors, you're also looking at coaches, you're also looking at suppliers who can help one way or another. You're looking at investors possibly. Okay, so it's a broad spectrum of stakeholders that you're trying to develop. Some of the answers you're looking for lie in your best friends, lie in that customer that comes into your shop every 2 weeks, but you've never opened your mouth. Let's head over to generate impact. Are your customers coming back? Are they referring others? Beyond revenue. In my career working with businesses, I've come across a number of businesses that are constantly spending a ton on marketing, not because they're trying to be like Coca-Cola and retain the customers that they have. They constantly have to seek new customers. And one of the first questions I ask is, aren't you worried about why they're not coming back? Because this product that you have is exhaustible. Ideally, someone needs to come back every 6 months. So where are they going and why are they going away? Why do you need to keep spending money? So are your customers coming back? Are they referring others? How can you make a positive difference for your customers or your audience? These days, you also have to look at your audience. Can't tell you how many times I've had people who haven't even worked with me refer me to other people. And it says something about the care that you have for your audience, those who are not paying you. Without complicating things, how can you increase your customer satisfaction? What opportunities exist in the market now that you're not taking advantage of? Are you focusing on do you know the right opportunities and are you focusing on them? Are you engaging with other people? Or are you telling yourself, oh, a flower only blooms when he's on his own? I'm just running my race. What kind of relationship are you building with your customers and partners? Heading over to E, because time is flipping fast. Are your current strategies working? If no, what needs to be adjusted? What did you learn? What have you learned from your recent failures and successes? The big goals, the big vision you had for your business for this time, is it still relevant or do you need to update them? How often do you review your business performance? It's not a good thing if you only wait till end of the year to review. It's a worse thing if you never review your business performance. What's one thing you can do differently to grow faster? I would like to know your answer to that one. It's not all of them that I'm asking. But what is one thing you can do differently if you are to become more efficient or more effective, or if you're to grow faster? What is the one thing you can do differently? Anyone want to go? Master Meta Business Ads. I love it. You're about to spend some good money. Proper marketing. Okay, so that's a bit broad. Madina, can we simplify it a little? Break it down a little for me. we're keeping things practical in this session. So instead of just marketing, what type of marketing? Is it content, face-to-face, terrestrial, meta ads, video marketing, social media marketing? Okay, all right. So now you know. Who else wants to share? What's one thing you can do differently to grow faster? You alone know. I'm not yet in your business. I'm not yet seeing where you are. What is one thing you know that, if I can get myself to do this, come on now. Come on. Run social media ads. Okay. Video marketing and storytelling. Okay. All right. Again, here we want to keep the things that are working and change the things that are not. We talk about flexibility, adapting to changes. That would only happen. Get the right talent. Very important. Very important. John, there's this saying, some people believe there's this school of thoughts that oftentimes what you find is you have people who have great skills, horrible character, or you have those who have fantastic character, very dedicated, but they just cannot deliver. And so finding the right talent sometimes can be a challenge, but yeah. Any other insight on that? Something you can do? Okay.
Yeah, mine will be to improve on my pricing.
Samuel, why am I talking to you when your video is not on? I said I will not talk to anybody that your video is not on. Turn your video on or you type. I'm being very petty and I don't even care. Turn your video on or don't talk to me. Set up a marketing system that keeps leads coming. Proper. He really. Okay, no, it's a different Samuel. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So we're gonna, because of time, I really don't want to keep you guys too long here. Okay, so we're going to. All right. Now, what I want you to do, guys, what I want you to do right now, where you're thinking hats, adjust it very well. Go into all those answers you gave me. Every answer you had under build foundation, look at all the things you wrote down, and I want you to underline the most important one. Do you understand what I'm asking? Under each of the pillars, we talked about building foundations. We talked about our systems. We talked about our products, solutions, services. Under each of them, go underline what you believe to be the most important. Go underline what you believe to be the most important. Many times we get stuck and we stall on execution because we're chasing too many things at the same time. Picture trying to catch chicken in a farm. Your eyes have to be on one at a time, often, right? As you build muscle, you can maybe chase and catch more at the same time. But for the sake of this exercise, just work with me and underline which you believe to be the most important. Build foundations. What's the most important thing you need to do? Reinforce your systems. What's the most important thing you need to do? Innovate solutions. What's the most important? For some of you, is to change the size of the products that you have, or to change the configuration of the services. Samuel, your hand is still up. Do you want to? Do you still want to talk to
No,
me?
no, not really, not really. I've
Okay.
already typed my.
Okay. All
Yes,
right, got it.
I've typed my. Yes, I've typed the input.
Okay, gotcha. Have you done that for all 6 pillars? Okay. All right. How are you feeling about what you've underlined? Are you feeling like, is your heart palpitating? Are you scared? Are you feeling confident? How are you feeling? Any words? Throw out one word. Because right there, we've just gotten what your key focus for this year needs to be. Of course, there's still work to do. This is just how many minutes? There's still work to do after this, a lot of work. But that has just given you like the path you should be on, you know? The path of the righteous. Yeah, this is your path. The things that you've underlined is your path to unlocking 2025. Does the path feel very narrow and scary? Okay. So we're going to do a bit of a strategy sprint, yeah? I would want you to look at the things that you've outlined, the ones you've underlined. I asked you to underline only one. No? If you have difficulty making decisions and you're like underline 3, it's not Ella that took you on that path. I'm not the one that guided you. I said 1. I said 1. So let's do this. We're going to use this 3-step formula to get to your goals fast. My focus is on the next 90 days. Give me a reaction on your screen if you have heard about SMART goals before. Give me a reaction on your skin, on your screen, not skin. Okay. All right, cool. Do we set SMART goals? Have you been setting SMART goals? Do you know how to set SMART goals? No? Okay. All right. No worries. Okay. We're going to make some progress. We're going to make some progress. So, the first thing I want you to do is think about a high impact goal based on the 6 things that you have underlined. Which is the one you want to start from? And as you said, okay, let me pause. This is an aside now, guys. Let me pause. Wish I can even, let me stop sharing my screen and pause. Because it's important that we get this part. Okay. When you set goals, you can set a goal like, I want to, let's say it's a personal goal that you're setting. You can say, this year, I want to make more money. Or this year, I want to travel to a new country. Or I want to lose weight. It's a goal, but it's not a goal that has a high likelihood of getting achieved. When you talk about SMART goals, there you're being specific this is for the benefit of just anyone that has not heard of or has not recently. Let me just remind you, A SMART goal is a goal that is specific, it's measurable, it's actionable or attainable, it's realistic, and it's time bound. So if I were to take, what's your goal? I want to lose weight. I keep using that because it's very relatable. A lot of people want to lose weight. For those who don't want to lose weight, I don't like you. Bye. Those who are those who are in the same WhatsApp group with me, hi. Okay, so let's use weight. I want to lose weight is a goal that many people have. But if you make it smart, you're saying something like, I want to lose 5 kg before or by June 30th, 2025. That is specific. I want to lose 5 kg. It's measurable. It's 5, right? I want to lose weight. I know how much I want to lose. It's attainable. It's not like the person who told me they want to do 2 billion when they've only done, a small fraction of that. And it's time bound. I've put it to last me till the end of June. So now that I say set a high impact goal, I want you to think about one goal that will move your business forward significantly. One goal that is going to have a significant impact on everything else. For somebody, it is a course you take. For somebody, it's going to be, the revenues, the kind of customers that you choose to serve. It can be, a bunch of things. But set one high impact goal for your business. And I want you to pick that goal from one of the areas. So it could be develop people, it could be around generating impact for your business or those around it. It could be the foundations that you want to build. It could be the systems that you want to fix. Those of you who are talking about marketing and sales, it's around your systems, right? Or the revenues that you want to hit. It could be around the people you want to hire. It could be a course you want to launch that is going to significantly move your business forward. It could be a book you want to write. Set one high impact goal. I want that goal to start with an action word. An action word would be something like achieve, set, reach, increase, reduce, sign up, partner with. Have you done that? I know at the beginning I had said if you have a question to ask me, this will be to ask me at the end, but this will be one of those places where I want to take your questions right now. Start with an action word, put a metric to it, put a timeline to it. What is the specific high impact goal you want to chase in the next 90 days? Are you able to see my screen? Can you see my screen? Okay. All right, cool. I have an example for you here. So this goal, is for the year, right? This high impact goal that I want you to set is for the year. We're going to get to the 90 days, but this is for your year 2025. So I put some examples here. It could be that you want to build a scalable team of 10 by Q4 ending. It could be that you want to increase your annual revenue by 25%, 50%. You want to double your 2024 revenue. You want to achieve 80% customer retention rate, right? But think about one area that is going to have a big impact and then set a goal around that area. If you have a question on how to set this goal, please let me know. Because if you get it wrong, you might continue to get it wrong. But if you get it right, then you can go back tomorrow and you are able to conclude the other areas. So far, is it landing? So far, is it landing? Are you on track with me? Just 2 people have responded. You can raise your head from what you're writing and respond. Okay. Okay. All right, cool. If you are lost, you cannot afford to leave this place with any gray area, at least concerning the things that I'm talking about now, because I'm here to guide you, right? You can't afford to not have clarity. If you do, I don't know what else. I don't know. Has everyone set their goal? Has everyone written one high impact goal for the year 2025? One. All right. Step 2, because I said it's a 3-step framework we're using, right? Step 2 is to now write out the specific actions you're going to take to help you achieve that goal. Ada, unmute yourself and ask me a specific question, please. Because just maybe somebody else has this question in mind. I'm keeping my eyes on time. I don't want to keep you guys too long. Unmute yourself, ask me the question. What don't you understand so far?
Okay. Hi, everybody. Good evening.
Where's your video? Where's your video? I'm only talking to those on video. You would think I'm joking.
Where is that cool?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Let me.
Well, you tell me. So first question for you. When I walked you guys through the bridge method and gave you some questions to think about under each, did you do that? Did you write them down?
Yes, I did. But I didn't.
Okay, good.
I apologize. I didn't start from the beginning, but I was able to catch up. So I wrote down the specific ones, the specific thing I need to do. Like,
okay, did you underline? Did you underline something under each of those areas?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good.
Yes,
so talk to me about the one.
So
okay.
So I was under people development.
Okay. Develop people.
So like, develop people. That's myself, like training. So
okay.
I wrote that I want to attend a training. Like I want to go for a paid training that will help me sharpen my communication skills and presentation skills that will land me in a bigger role and also help me in my business. That's what I wrote. So, but
what is the ultimate goal? What is the ultimate goal? Because we have a couple things fused into one. What is the ultimate goal? Is it to get a new job or to?
Yes, to get a new job in HR. Yes, to get a new job in HR department. Yes. So
so that is more business. So that is more personal rather, because the guide that I've been providing is with the assumption that I'm speaking to those who are running their businesses, right? But if you were to do that, so what I would say would be something like, if it's a certification or if it's a training, so get get trained in, you write the specific training that your communication is way too broad, right? Get trained in, you put the specific area. Is it body language? Is it writing? Is it content creation? Is it digital marketing or digital communication? Sorry. And then by when? That allows you to then explore different options that are available. So I just want you to be specific about the type of training you want, perhaps where you're going to get it from, and then by when. But like I said, more of what I'm doing is around business. Okay.
Okay, yeah, but I run a business, but though I'm not taking it too serious. Like I just do like a side thing. So I'm not taking it so serious. But now that at least I'm getting around what you're teaching now. So thank you.
All right, sure. Okay, so 3 critical action steps. I want you to write 3 things that you're going to do to help you achieve that goal that you've written down. So if, for instance, you said you want to achieve, can you mute yourself? If, for instance, you said you want to achieve a specific amount, 100 million naira, $50,000 by December 31st, 2025, what are you going to do? What will be the action you take to help you achieve that goal? Is it that you're going to hire a marketing specialist? Is it that you're going to expand into another country, another state, another part of the country? Is it that you're going to launch certain products or services, or you're going to start selling, or you're going to partner with somebody, another organization? Are you going to launch maybe a reward program so that you can retain more customers? Let's say your goal was to achieve 100% customer retention. That's not very realistic. Somebody might die. So or relocate. I'm not being negative, but we have to be realistic with the goal. So let's say you want to do 80% retention rate as your high impact goal for 2025. One of the most important things might then be to say, you know what, we have to find a way to reward the loyalty of customers that we already have. So that will be part of your action step. You need to have your thinking hat on and write 3 critical actions that you would take. A client that we worked with, big organization, they have maybe like 6 branches, 5 branches across the country. One of the biggest things for them was to build a leadership team. And so for this client, we had taken out almost the period of 1 year to really think about who do we need, what skills do we need to build, what needs to be in place from the board level to, an operations lead to an HR lead. And you cannot imagine what it did for that business. So sometimes it's around people. Sometimes it's one product you introduce and all of a sudden it looked as if it's just now you started business. Sometimes it could be a different size of the product you've been selling. Maybe customers want it smaller. A few years ago, the in thing was everyone sachetizing their products, from hot drinks to beverage drinks to detergents. Everything had to come in smaller sizes. So if you understand the trends and if you see how things are going, you can identify what action you must take. If you have any question here, share the goal with me and I can help you with the action steps. Is anyone done with 3 action steps? You can look at the examples and let that guide you. These are like your strategic objectives backing up the goal that you set. Because of time, I'm going to move forward. There will be opportunities. I know that depending on the kind of goal that you have for yourself or for your business this year. This may or may not be enough. It is a starting point, okay? And I'm going to share some opportunities if you want to take this further. That may not be right for everybody, but just hang around and I'm going to share that very soon. Now, another very important part of this goal setting exercise is going to be determining your deadlines and your accountability. By when will you do what? Who is going to be responsible for the specific tasks? When are you going to start? When are you going to end? If you slack, what's going to happen? Why is this important? I mentioned earlier that the people equation is such a big one. Now, the truth is there are some people for whom what they need or who they need the most is not even a who, it's a tech tool. For some people, it is a mentor. For another person, it might be a coach. For another person, it might be a consultant. You use the framework with your staff. I'm glad. For some, it's an accountability partner. For some, it's a business partner. It's a business partner that you need. When will you start? When will you end? I like to space things out. So even as you've written different actions, you can have one that you would only start in Q2. For now, you're not going to disturb yourself about it. Because many times what holds us back is mental load. You know, there's just so much you need to do in your head. And before you start, you're tired. Any questions so far? Any question? You know, when we speak of accountability, yes, go ahead, please. Unmute yourself and ask your question. You're muted.
Oh,
You're
sorry.
muted. I
All
didn't
right.
realize.
So I was asking
ahead.
about the goals. Are they supposed to, you know, sometimes we have this urgency to finish up all this within a period of time. And that's why sometimes we get stressed out. But now we have, I'm writing a lot and I feel like, how long are we going to do this? Is it supposed to be quarterly, monthly? You know, at a point in your business, you know, you need 4 things immediately in a month. How do you achieve that 4 things within the month, 30 days?
Okay. So the lot that you've been writing is us analyzing your business so far to help us get to what the most important high impact goal should be. All right. So at first I had you writing about your last year, and the end goal of that was to remind ourselves of what worked well, the things that we'll be carrying on into 2025, and also to remind ourselves of the things that we certainly need to leave in 2024. And then we got into like an assessment/planning where I had you looking through different areas of your business, the foundation, the people, the systems, the impact areas, all right, the things that needed, where you needed to evolve. And I had said, in the midst of all those things that you wrote, underline 1 under each area. So the key things that we are taking out of that were meant to be 6. 1 for foundations, at most 6. Some people may not clearly identify what we're going to evaluate and evolve. And that's okay, right? So I expect you to have 5 to 6 things that you had underlined. Now, out of all those things that you have underlined, you can now say, which is the most important that I want to hit for 2025? What is it that if I'm able to do this at the end of the year, I will end up feeling like I'm a success. 2025 was a fantastic year. That is your high impact goal. Now, when you set the high impact goal, you then have a bunch of actions to help you achieve that goal. For example, I had said if your impact goal was that you want to reach 80% retention level. So I don't want to chase new customers. I'm not interested in fresh marketing. I know that already we've had 15,000 customers over the last 1 year. How can I make 12,000 of them come back? And that becomes my high impact, the things that I need to do to retain 80% of them become the actions that I'm taking. So maybe I need to get a CRM software in place. Maybe I need to hire a dedicated customer experience person or a customer follow-up or whatever, somebody to keep in touch with them and something. Maybe I need to introduce some type of referral program or some type of loyalty program so that they are really encouraged to keep staying. Maybe I need to move from just virtual communication to actually going to visit some of them physically. Those are the different actions that you're now taking. Okay. Now, under deadline and accountability, you can now say, okay, the loyalty program that I want to introduce, I'm going to put that at maybe May. I will start in May and be sure that by the end of June, the system is working. Okay. What was the other action that I mentioned? You pick another action and say, okay, who is going to help me achieve this? Who is going to be responsible for doing this? So the system that I'm walking you through, if you follow it, it's supposed to reduce all of that overwhelm. If by looking at it, you cannot see any way that this is possible, then something is wrong. You need to pace yourself. You need to split it out, spread it out. Put some of them for second half of the year. Put some for first half. Put some for second quarter. If you spread it out like that, you will not be too exhausted. I'd rather have you have a few things that you're working on in the month, and at the end, you have enough time to pick up some other things than pack 10, 50 things, and at the end of the day, you don't even have energy to achieve 3. Itoro.
I got it. Thank you.
You do? Okay.
Yes.
So I
yes,
think maybe you were just looking at everything as what needs to be done. No, what I'm asking you to do for now is just one high impact. Let me go back and show you again. Right? I'm asking you to pick one high impact goal. Could be your team, could be revenue, could be customer retention, could be entering a new market, could be reducing your expenses. One goal. And then following that goal, you have 3 action steps. And then following those 3 action steps, you then sequence them. When it's going to start and end, or at least when it's going to start, who's going to be responsible, why this is important, so that you can hold yourself accountable. One of the things that I found, especially with clients that I have coached, and I don't put out my coaching because it's a lot of time investment. But one of the things that I've found with clients that I've coached is a lot of times you find that people have capacity to do more when they know someone is watching. And sometimes what I use is simply guilt. All right. So oftentimes, even when they doubt it in the beginning, especially when we set some goals, they're like, Ella, just kill me now. I've had a client say that to me. Ella, just kill me. How? How on earth? How is this going to happen? But it's the actions that tell us. Many times when we don't achieve the goal is because our planning was not great. The execution was not great. And so what I'll say to the client is, we're going to break it down like this, and let's even try. Okay, we're not going to split let's say we want to achieve 100 million. We're not going to split it into 100 million divided by 12. No, we're not going to do that. Okay, we're probably going to say for the first month, let's even attempt to do 20,000 or 2 million. Let's attempt to do 2 million, but put XYZ in place. And then we follow the steps and you find that the person has achieved it. And it becomes a case of, well, like, it works. But there are other times when the goals are not achieved. And then you ask yourself, what can I do differently? What do I need to introduce? But many times when someone is watching and you know someone is going to hold you accountable, you step up your game. There are times when people don't achieve their goal. And I'm like, okay, so do we just give up? Is that all? Have you given all? And they're like, no, maybe I can try XYZ. And then the next month they hit it. So don't skip this step. Don't skip this step. If you're lucky and have a support system around you, spouse, siblings that, you know, hold you accountable, maybe a business bestie, great. If you don't, invest in working with a coach or a consultant. They pay for themselves. The good ones pay for themselves 100 times over. I can tell you because I have clients I've been working with back to back 7 years. How far is 2016? That's 8. 2016 is almost 9 years. It is possible. Okay. So any other question? Any other question? So I'm going to ask now, do you have one big goal, one high impact goal that you're going to chase for 2025? Written out as a SMART goal, which means it starts with an action word, it has a metric, it has an end date, and it's attainable, it's achievable. Does everyone have that? Type your answer. Yes? Okay. Okay. Have you written some actions to back up how you will achieve that goal? Have you? Okay. Is there anyone that does not have their goal written out clearly? Anybody? I'm going to suspend my my rule about not speaking to. I'm going to suspend my rule about not speaking to anyone on video that is not on video, and I'm just going to call up. Prolific. Tell me your goal. You don't need to mention the number. You can put X, but tell me the high impact goal that you have. Prolific, can you hear me? Uime.
Jesus Christ, I kind of felt I was going to be next.
Yeah. Your spirit was right. So tell me your high impact goal, but I want you don't have to mention the figure. If it's a percentage, of course, that's safe. If it's maybe a revenue goal and you don't want to say, that's fine. But tell me, what did you write down as your high impact goal?
So I have a couple of them. Was I supposed to have just one? Because I have like 3.
Okay, that's good,
in,
because the idea is you can always go back and continue, but I want to have one thing that this is my goal for bringing you into this class, so that you have a very specific target you're chasing. So yeah, give me the most important one. Read it for me.
Most important. Okay, so like in my business, to increase sales by #1 million monthly by the
Do you write
Q1.
this down, or are you just saying it as you go?
No, I'm writing it, or it's in my book. I'm reading it I'm reading it from my book.
Okay.
I'm reading it from my book. Yeah.
It's supposed to be written. Okay.
Yeah, it's written in my book, actually. Yes.
Okay. So additional 1M or hit 1M monthly. Did you spell out the action?
No, I haven't done that yet.
Okay.
I haven't done that yet.
But why now? Is it that we didn't have enough time? Okay, so thank you for sharing. No problem.
No, because the thing is, I wrote down a couple, so my brain is all over. My mind is dancing all over the place because I have like 3 or 4 things written down.
But you see, that's why Ella said 1, because I know how these things are. That's why I said 1. Just listen and follow. And I will also tell you what to do afterwards for the remaining. So for now, just pick 1 and do the action for those ones. Put the deadline and accountability. Okay. You can always replicate later. And if you want further support, of course, I'm here. It's what I do, right? I'm doing this at no cost because I want people to have an opportunity. Ultimately, like I said, for those of you who came in the beginning, our goal is to have more African businesses that last, more African businesses that are sustainable. Okay, so this is like my CSR. This is me. This is part of my impact work. But there will be some people who want closer work, closer support. And of course, I will have an opportunity to share that. Okay, Nena. Amechi Obioha. You have to create an Excel sheet for this proper documentation and follow through. Okay, good. I like it. Nena, unmute yourself. You can hear me. Unmute yourself. Okay, she's run away. Noye, hello, it's been a while. Do you have your high impact goal written out? Do you have the goals to back up? Or mute yourself if you want to talk to me. If I've called your name and you want to talk to me, unmute yourself.
Okay, great. Hi. Yes. So, thanks. So let me read mine. So I want to achieve X million in total sales by March 31st by implementing a consistent marketing system that drives targeted leads from Nigeria and the US market. How do I want to achieve this? 1, I want to engage 2 different Facebook and Google marketers from as a site for some of this international, some people that do this, that work for freelancers, I mean. For them to create winning campaigns for me. I also need to purchase 10 to 15 new luxury designs, products, because we need to rentals. I need to purchase that. 3. I also need to set up my website to be working, to increase the touch points for my sales. So apart from just visiting the stores, Instagram, I need some people who want to just buy things directly on the website.
Did you put any accountability checkpoints? Do you add who's going to hold you accountable? I heard you mention who's going to be doing some of the campaigns. For the other ones, did you also put people? Have you done that? And then start
No,
and
I
end
haven't.
date?
No, I haven't. But I wanted
so
to
that's
create
what's left.
An advisory. I'll create an advisory board. I'll set up an advisory board to be able to help me to facilitate this.
Okay. But so far, how are you feeling about it? Is there a lot more clarity? Or is
yes, there is. There's clarity and I'm feeling pumped.
Okay, good. That's how we want you feeling. All right, good. Cool. Thanks for sharing. Okay. So because of time, I'm going to step it up a bit. Without accountability, execution fails. So one thing I would want you to put in place as much as possible is to have a weekly progress check-in with one or more of your accountability systems, right? Or your points or your people. This is where you are clarifying what it is you accomplished and what's next. I also want you to make a public commitment. Now, when I say public, I'm not saying go on Facebook and write your goal. I'm just saying that there needs to be at least one person, possibly a team, or a network or a group to whom you are saying, this is what I want to do. Guys, if you can trust Ella on this, there is power in opening your mouth to say, here's what I intend to do. Because we as human beings are keen on self-preservation, you don't want it to look like you are all talk and no substance. Once you voice it, oftentimes you do the best you can. Does that mean that there won't be times that life happens? That's not what I'm saying. But if you can make a public commitment to someone to say, this is what I want to do, here's how I'm going to do it, and I want you to hold me accountable, more often than not, you give it more attention, and that helps you execute better and achieve success faster. And then the third thing I want to talk about is creating consequences. If you do say you're going to do something and do it, how would you reward yourself? If you do say you're going to do something and you don't do it, how do you get punished? What's the consequence of inaction? It's very important that you put down some of these things, because even you don't know how far they would go in helping you sit up. So talk to yourself about how you're going to reward yourself and how it is that you're going to, money is a very big motivator. So let's say you're in a group, and if you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, you give everybody some money or you buy everyone lunch. You will sit up, you will do your best. Trust me, times when you're just scrolling needlessly on whatever social media app you like, you probably just catch yourself, shut it down, and go do something in line with your goal, because you know that there are people who are holding you accountable. So the question is, who will hold you accountable? If you have someone in your circle, someone you have, tried this with, fantastic. If it is somebody that you have to pay, who will hold you accountable? I want you to write it down now. Someone just talked about setting up an advisory board. If you're putting up a board, I usually advise that these are people that you truly respect, all right? So that if you commit to doing something, you show up fully. They help you, produce at a higher level. So even if it's people you have to pay, if it's a coach, if it's a consultant, if it's, a group, you have accountability groups, people who set such things, do that. Okay, so I want you to write it down. Has everybody written it down? You better say yes. That's why we're here. Time is going. Oh my God. We have already exceeded our time. So let's do a bit of a rapid fire coaching. Who, at this point, I can only take one person. So who is the one person who is open to a live business audit? Okay, so Joneswood has it. Unmute yourself.
I'm unmuted.
Good. Your video is not on, but I'll just.
You said you loosened the room.
All right, go ahead. Let's go. So what's your goal? Talk to me about the focus area. So what are the things you underlined under each of the pillars of the bridge method? For building foundations,
Okay.
what do you need to work on?
Okay, so for building foundations, I thought you were asking me the one I chose, or you want me to talk on each of them?
I want to hear the 6. Just read it for me.
Okay, build foundation, set clear personal and business priorities.
Okay.
Then 2, reinforce systems, identify gaps in execution. And 3 is innovate solutions.
What gap? No. Hold on, honey. Hold on. There were some specific questions that I asked, and I told you to write the answers to. Yes. So what gap in your execution did you say, I'm going to work on this, and you underlined?
Okay, so for me, one very important one is having checklists on all the things of all the end goals, like in terms of our project. So having
Okay.
checklists and always going back to our checklist and ensure that we've dotted the I's and crossed the T's, because oftentimes it's when we don't do that, from what I've experienced, is that
No,
we
I understand.
end up.
That's a clear goal.
Okay,
Yeah. So because
okay,
of time, I just want you
okay,
to read what you underlined. Okay.
okay,
What for
okay.
Innovate Solutions? What do you underline?
So for innovating solutions, I'm not really written so much about it, but off my head, I know that it has to do with um ensuring that we do the right thing at first. So not doing things with the hope that we're going to come back to it. So having the
Okay.
mindset
Okay.
that
So
okay, as we
Joan,
are doing that, yeah.
okay. So you obviously have to listen to the replay. You have to listen to the replay and
Sure, I
actually
will.
try it. You know, when I told you guys, just answer whatever comes to your head. That's also because I didn't want you overthinking, because when you overthink, you'll not be seeing all the different problems and not all of them are strategic, right? So I would want you to listen again and outline. But in the meantime, let's now get to your goal. So what is the one big goal? What's your high impact goal for 2025? One.
Okay,
Read it
so
as
the
you
third
wrote
one,
it.
the actually okay, so my high impact goal basically is to develop the right team by February.
Okay, so build the
Get
right
and develop the
team.
right team by February of this year.
Okay. So do you know what would have been a clearer way of saying it, right? Something that is more specific. Hire who do you need? Who do you want to hire in your mind? Who do you need?
Okay, so I already hired 2. I have 2 more to go, which is why I said by
Okay.
February. So we need,
Who are
and I've already hired. We need a business developer and a quality person. So I already hired an accountant and a PM, project manager officer. So I have 2
Okay,
more to
hold
go,
on.
which is why I
Hold on,
said by
Joan.
February.
Hold on, Joan. I hope what you're telling me is not a representation of what is in the class, because it means that you guys did not follow me exactly. I had said I want your high impact goal to span 2025. Do you remember?
Yes, so I have that.
So that's what I'm asking for now. What is your one big goal for 2025? Oh yeah, give me, hurry.
Okay, so the big goal is to increase our sales by 50% by the end of December 2025.
Fantastic. So that means
50%
what
of
you
what we
had
did
told me
2024.
earlier. Okay, so that means what you told me about hiring the business development person and the other one. So building the team is an action that is meant to lead to improve your. Okay,
Yes.
so you were answering the wrong question. Fantastic. What about your accountability? Who's going to hold you accountable? How would
Yeah.
you stay on track?
Okay, so I have this group of friends. We're just 3, and I just wrote it down. It's a JJU. I just wrote it down that I'm going to send a message to them tomorrow, and these are the things I want to do, and I want them to hold me accountable to it.
Love it. Okay, good. Do you have any question? Maybe I just might be able to take one more person. Do you have any question?
Yes,
I love it.
I have a question, please.
Go ahead.
Okay, so my question is still on the same thing because I'm really very particular about it this year. Now, what's your take on hiring someone that, because I heard you say in the beginning that people that work for you, something about should not know more than you, or you should develop yourself to know more than them. So what happens when you want to hire somebody that is much that how would I put it? That has more skill than you as the business owner, and that will require you to pay that person more than what you are earning as the business owner. What happens at that time?
Okay, all right. So I'm going to clarify what it was that I said. I said that when it comes to building a company, right, in terms of your vision, leadership, and stuff like that, no one in the organization can rise above you. Meaning, if you are not growing enough and there's somebody under you who's very driven, who's very focused and all that, they will leave you. They will leave you. They really can't do more than you're doing. And so I was saying that in terms of how we need to develop ourselves, we need to stop playing small. Now, when it comes to hiring specific roles, there will be instances where it is possible that you need a very specialized skill and probably I have done it before, where you have to take a pay cut to allow you to pay for somebody that has a specialized skill that you need to help the business grow. And the end goal is that this person is able to add so much value to the company that they can pay for themselves and even pay your own salary as you choose to bring it back up, right? Over time. It is a strategic move. Everybody does not see the sense in it, but Ella does. I have done it personally. And I have recommended something similar for a few staff where they're saying the price for this role, the things that people are calling, I'm not even earning up to that. I'm like, and the business pay, cut out your paycheck for 5 months, rely on your spouse, rely on your savings, cut out your paycheck and get this person in so they can do it's a strategic move. Another option is, depending on what you want the person to do, you may have someone work with you part-time. It is okay to have someone with very great expertise work with you 4 hours, 5 hours a week, but they're doing a specific thing and they're so good at it that if you were to bring them in, you cannot pay them. And so you tell them, I want you as a part of your team, not full-time, but just give me 5 hours every day. Just give me 1 day every week. 5 hours every week or 1 day every week, something, so that we can do XYZ, so that you can guide my team on XYZ, so that you can teach me XYZ. And that can be another strategic move that really helps build your business. Okay.
Thank you so much, Ella. I love you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we'll take one more person if you guys don't mind. One person for a rapid fire coaching. Let me just walk through what you have and see where I can add value. In the absence of any volunteer. Oh, okay. All right. Go ahead. Ito, I see you. Go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Thank you again.
I prefer somebody whose voice I haven't heard, but you came. So let's go. Talk to me about the 6 things you underlined. What do you have on the bridge?
Okay. On the bridge, I don't have the right people to deliver the keywords because I did a wrap of the business. So I don't have that. I'll fix that within January and February. Then for the step 2, which is reinforced system, I think I'm doing so much that is slowing me down. I want to be able to dedicate the social media for someone to handle while I do the offline business.
So outsource marketing,
Yes.
Innovate
then
solutions.
Develop people. Develop people. Innovate solutions. Where's Innovate Solutions?
Okay, go ahead with develop people.
I'm trying to remember. Okay, yeah, I can see it. Develop solution is to improve on the product. So we are having we did a survey. We had a
okay. Don't worry about explanation, darling. So you need to improve product quality or quantity or what? Okay.
The product quality. And for develop people, I need to train myself. There are some things that the market needs that I don't have.
That's very honest.
Yeah. There's something that the market needs that they're asking for that I do not have, and I need to have it in order to, just in case, let me just have it. Then general impact. I do not have the right opportunities, the right people to speak to when it comes to the field that I am in at the moment, especially the product that we're bringing in.
A community. You need to get into a community or into a network.
Yes, I need to get into that. Then the step
and that would
6
be through contribution. Sorry, let me just give you feedback on that. All right. If you're putting it on the impact and you can see that it's around collaboration and partnerships, it also has to do with what you contribute. So you're going to lead with a value adding step. Okay, you're going to go into that, maybe give what you have or share what you know, even as you then build this network of people. All right.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
So let's get to your the one thing you believe is going to drive growth. So your evaluation on and evolution. What did you underline?
Is the video. I have to focus on the video marketing because people need to see my face to sell. To buy rather.
Even me, you did not show me your face. You were in a dark room.
I did.
And
I've
then
been
you
showing my.
still
I've been showing my face since. I showed my face like twice.
Okay. So what's your high impact
So I
goal?
need to do. Yes. And
What's your high impact goal?
Goal is. Oh, where did I write it? My high impact goal is to increase the annual revenue. At least we should have like $1 million a month. Because we've not been able to get to that level. So that's and the actionable is to run ads. I stopped at a point last year, so I need to do it on a monthly basis this year. And I've discovered that the ads will generate. Then also, who will be accountable for this action? I have an accountability partner. However, she's not in the country, so I have to get a new person that will, that will work with the time that we have in Nigeria. And the end goal, the period. That's why I need to do the Excel sheet for this, the period at which I want to achieve each of the goals. So I will have it in the document.
Okay. So I think you get the concept. And even though we focused on one, because I don't want anyone feeling overwhelmed, hopefully you've gotten the thought process or the framework that you can follow to make sure that you're working on all the important areas of your business without overwhelming yourself. Okay. And it also helps you if you're thinking, for example, if there's anyone here who's thinking of either raising money, debt, equity, whichever one, this is also something that you can say, here's my plan. This is what I intend to do. And it's very clear without you going to do a 50-page, business plan that is not really applicable. Okay. So, Bamiwale, I'm going to only be able to take a question because there are some things that I want to share with you guys before time. So just ask me a question.
Oh, yes, mine is a question. So mine is a question. So I wanted to ask, because my impact goal, because I had to keep it to one, like you said, the major one that I had, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking that, what if I go through all of that process, I list it out, I do all of that, and I do all of that, and I see that, not like in advance, I'm thinking it's not achievable, but I see that it doesn't work, or it won't fly. Can I fling it out?
No, I wouldn't want you to fling it out, especially if you arrived at it following a process like what we did, which is what are the areas that you ignored? Where did your customers complain, right? Don't forget are you doing an account? 1 second, Chinyere, I'll answer you in a second. There's a process that I took you guys through, and that's why I kept saying come in early. All right. So if it's either customer feedback that led you to that goal, or it's what you're seeing in the market that led you to that goal, I will not want you to throw it out. Instead, what we can do is rethink our strategy, rethink the action that we want to take, rethink the choices that we're making around that goal. Right. So it's a rare case that if you set a right goal, and this is why I said you don't just wake up and say, oh, I want to become the foremost somebody in this space, right? There are things that lead you to a goal. And if you follow those things that lead you to the goal, I won't want you to throw it out. Instead, rethink the actions that you're taking, rethink who you're partnering with, rethink who is going to help you. Because it's foolhardy to think you can do it all alone. And who is going to help you must not be employees. Sometimes they are friends, sometimes they're mentors, they're coaches, they're consultants. It really could be anybody. All right?
Okay.
And if at this point you already, maybe there's some, do you want to share the goal? Do you want to read it out?
Oh yes,
Read
yes, I can't. I one the high impact goal was to create an everyday selling product or an everyday selling service for the brand, right? And
No,
so
ma,
I'm looking at
that's not a smart goal. No, ma, that's
yeah,
not a smart goal.
yeah,
So if your goal is around the products that people buy, set something
yeah.
around the revenue, maybe,
Oh,
or or it could be revenue. It could also be, because I want it to be the year, set it around the revenue. But because you're not sure, maybe for quarter, what you want to do is validate that goal or validate the product by doing a focus group or something, right?
Yes.
But creating just one product cannot be your high impact goal for the year. It should be what will help your goal happen.
Validate the product is the answer to begin with. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. You're welcome. Okay. All right. Thank you. So I'm going to move on. I will still have time at the end for anyone who wants to stay back and ask me a question. But for now, your power move, I want you to drop one action that you're going to take tonight. One thing you will do this night. Write it in the chat. And everybody, including those that their fingers have not allowed them type anything since we started. Let me call names. Unifade Gabriel. Mojola Oluwa Opasanya. I've not even seen your, write it in the chat. What is one action you will take tonight? Write it. Creating my Excel sheet. Fantastic. Who's complex? That's an interesting name. Pray. I love it. Yes, business is spiritual. Pray. That's good. And then you back it up with action though. Frederick, Adiola, Temitope, those whose voices I have not heard. Write the names of your advice. Okay, people you want to invite into your advisory board. That's exciting. Make sure they are people you respect and make sure they have a broad range of skills, right? So don't go and choose from only your industry. Make sure they have a broad range. Reaching out to my accountability partner. Love it. All right. What else? What else? Send a message to my accountability partners before close of business today. So I want to know what you do tonight. So draft the message you will send tonight. Abi, can we do that? Draft, you create your accountability team. Okay, I see there's a big theme around accountability today. Nobody's saying complete my goal setting. Since we did just one. And I know there's more to do. So one thing that I would also, okay, all right, cool. To go through these notes again, streamline my goals, fantastic. Love it. Love it. Okay, that's very good. That's very good. All right. So here's what I want to share with you. Are you going to get the recording? Absolutely. Really? Mojola Oluwa, really? The only thing you're going to ask me is for the recording. I want to know what you are doing. All right. So like I said, I'll get to questions in a bit. And I'm going to want to have your feedback on specific things, please. But she's smart, I know, right? But for those who believe that they might have a lot more, like it's a lot more complicated in your business than what it is today. Here's what I have for just those on this call. Somebody was complaining to me today that the amount of emails we've been sending, this is not going to go to any email. It is just for those on this call. If there is any service that we offer that you have eyed before, want to check out, want to know about, whatever, for the next 24 hours. 24 hours only. Don't share it with anybody outside here because I need to make money this year. For 24 hours only, you're going to have an opportunity to save 50%. All right, just use the code UNLOCK2025. Again, it is just for those on this call. I'm not sending it to those who did not register for the webinar. Those who registered for the webinar, I will tell, but those who did not, they're not going to get it. And it's just 24 hours. So this is for you if you want any of our services. And then in addition to that, there are two options that I have here for those who want, just a little bit more. The first is an accelerator session. So this does not exist outside of this Unlock 2021. This is for people who want a personalized strategy and want clarity regarding their execution. Like, you've started, you see the potential, but there's a lot that is not yet very clear, or there's some area that you're not sure how to handle it. Get in with me. We're going to have a 90-minute strategy session. This is with me. And you're also going to have a customized roadmap. So exactly what you're going to be doing for the year. I will write it myself and send to you. And this is why I can't take too many people for this. You're going to have a follow-up. There's an email I will send to you and expect certain responses at the 45-day mark. And then you're going to have exclusive access to my team for 1 month. So if you have any follow-up questions, anything that you need done. And in addition to that, you are also going to have someone from my team train your team for at least 30 minutes. And the investment for that is only $100. If you know what my this thing is, you know that my business resembles this, is $500, and I don't discount it, right? But just for this, just for unlock people, you can have access to this. So again, you're getting a strategy call with me. I'm going to create your plan. I'm going to write it down for you. So this one is not, back and forth. Did you get? I will write it, send to you. And then 45-day mark, I'm going to check in with you to know where we are, how we're doing. You're going to have access to my team for any questions or anything. And you're going to have someone train your team, because sometimes they need to hear a different voice. They need to hear things said in a way that can land for them. My team are extremely qualified. Some of you know some of my team members, all right? And I found that they do the best job with teams of our clients, not even me. The other option is the business mentorship package. So this is very private. I can only take 3 people for this because I always say it to anybody that cares to listen. I'm a consultant, not a coach. I do coach, but consulting is what I love. And so because of how much coaching takes from me, I give it plus coaching plus consulting. Because of that, it's not something I put out there. But this is a 6-month private coach. It's for entrepreneurs really want to scale. So you've gotten your business to a certain level and you want to be sure that it wasn't just a one-hit wonder. You want to scale the growth that you've had. You want to do it in a structured way. We've created, using the bridge method, a coaching opportunity that would last 6 months and really skyrocket your business, allow you stretch into places that you only dreamt of. So here we're going to be having 2 private calls per month for a period of 6 months. You're going to be having ongoing strategy, accountability, and implementation support. You're going to have a custom roadmap built for your business. And you're going to have exclusive access to all of our back-end templates, tools, resources. Try and picture what I have created for the last 11 years of working with SMEs in various industries, various countries, various scenarios. All of it you're going to have access to. And then the investment is $3,000. Now, for those who are on this call, there's going to be a 25% discount if you enroll within the next 24 hours. You don't have to pay everything at once. Again, it's just 3 people I can take, and your business has to be right for it. I'm not taking businesses who have not gotten to a certain level of growth. I'm not taking people who have not seen a certain level of success, because I don't want who will hang everything on me. This is coaching, not consulting. So if you feel like this is right for you, let me know. Over the next 24 hours, you can get a 25% discount on this. Now, if you know, our most popular service at HillBridge is our business growth strategy session. It is a one-time session with a 1 follow-up, and it costs $1,000. Do the math and understand what this is. Understand what this is. So again, if you feel like any of them is ideal for you, reach out for the accelerator session. Send me a mail, send me a message. Kenneth, please put my number or your number. And yeah, that really is it. Questions? Any other questions that you have? Anybody? If you don't have questions yet, let me ask you a question. What has this session done for you? I want to have your feedback, particularly with the bridge method. Did it make sense? Did it land? Did it help you think of things you hadn't thought about? What was the session like for you? Was it worth your time? It made you think about your life, I hope in a good way. Okay.
Okay. Can I go first?
Yes, you can. Absolutely.
Okay. So thank you again, Ella. So what this session has done for me, though I came late, but I got to understand that everything is possible as long as you put your mind to it and you set smart goals. And then one interesting thing I've never heard of was that part where you said, how do you reward yourself? Like when you can't achieve your goals, and when you don't achieve your goals, how do you punish yourself? I've never heard that part before, and that seems interesting because that will push you. And also the idea of accountability too will also push you. So that has also set the pace for me to understand that there are things I need to put in place because I've been setting goals all these years, but I've not been able to achieve most of them. So I now understand that it takes more than just setting goals. You actually have to. This bridge method is actually very, very interesting, and I'm thanking you for that too. So that's what I got to learn.
I'm glad. I'm really glad to hear that. So I'm going to, because of what you just mentioned about setting goals and not achieving, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, I felt led to just put up something about how to set goals when you've never met your goals before. That was an extreme case because everybody has set and met goals, but there are people that have really struggled with meeting the goals that they achieve year after year. And it can be very discouraging. Okay. So I put up something on Instagram. Even if you're not following me on Instagram, I don't know why you would not be, but head over to HillBridge Consulting or the bridgemethod.sme and go find that series that I shared. It's a carousel, not a series. It's a carousel that I shared. And I want you to use it wisely because, don't let your spirit be discouraged because 2020 you set goals, you didn't achieve them. 2021 you said you didn't achieve them. What is it? I beg. Let me just freestyle and live my life. Don't fall for that trap. Oftentimes when some of your goals are achieved or when your effort has not been yielding, there's just a little something you need to tweak. Sometimes it's the right person. It's somebody you meet and decide to work with. Right? Sometimes it's somebody you meet that tells another person about you, gives you one small idea for a new business, a new product, and it triggers a lot of things, right? But I don't want you to get discouraged. Another thing is as you go forward with what we've discussed tonight, and as you review the notes and maybe set some new goals, I want you to keep your eyes up, literally, like in the physical. I want you to lift your eyes, okay? Force yourself to picture what is possible for you based on the potential that God has deposited inside of you, not necessarily what you believe is happening in Nigeria or not. Last year, and I've not said this anywhere, not even to my team, they probably know. Last year, the most I earned was not from Nigeria. Right? So lift up your eyes and don't allow yourself to be bogged down by all the negativity and the disastrous economy that we're in. So even if you're listening, I know I see some Ghanaians or have seen some Ghanaians in the call and some other African countries, even outside of, the African continent. Don't let yourself be limited by what is happening in your economy. There's something God has placed in your hands. And if you're one of those people, or if you're at a place where you believe that what you're doing is purpose, this is what God has put you on earth to do, I want you to be a bit more spiritual with your goal setting and with the actions that you're taking. It's not all about the metrics that are out there. Guys, it's not all about the metrics. I'm telling you, there's such a thing as grace. Okay? There's such a thing as grace. So follow the math that I've taught you, but I've also shown you, and I'm also telling you that even in my own life, there is a play of grace. There are times when you can't explain certain things. I mentioned to those of you who came in early, marketing is not one of my strong suits. We're going to improve by fire by force this year. Show you people see I've gone to buy mic. See, I'm going to buy mic so I can be talking more. But on a serious note, beyond the physical efforts, beyond the strategy, beyond the systems, beyond the structure, beyond the solutions, there is the spiritual, and it matters. It matters. It counts. I'm telling you now, there's the spiritual, especially with hiring. Especially with hiring. Don't go hire the wrong person. Okay? All right. So any question? Let me check the chat if I missed anything. I thought to just lay that. The other person wants any feedback? Let me see. So hold on, there's a lot of info. Okay, so the session, no vex, they're like, oh dear, all you people, okay. The rapid fire questions you reeled out were great and thought-provoking. Okay, I'm glad they helped. Thank you. Made me realize there's a lot of work to do. I hope you're able to achieve that. You can, Christiana, you can. And let me know wherever I can help. The offers are there for you guys. There's so much to be done. Okay, scheduling a team meeting tomorrow. Okay, all right. Just been thinking of the things I've never thought of. That's the idea, and I'm glad that you've gotten started. As you think, write, plan, get to work. Yes, it helped. I really didn't achieve my goals last year. I wanted not to write any goal, but continue to last. Okay, it opened you up. I'm glad. Just take it bite size. Coach, could you please increase to 50% to work with our business for 7 months, please? For those of us here, please. I don't understand. Like you want me to do? Wait, is it that? Chinyere, unmute yourself. Hey, this guy was no. Chinyere, unmute yourself.
Coach, my knees are on the floor.
We need you, coach. Asking for. Let me understand.
6 months with you. Ugo Fly is ready. My knees are on the floor.
And you mentioned what percentage?
My knees are on the floor, coach.
So as we're planning to take Ugo Fly to all of these places that is going, and all the money that we're going to be making, you now want to share. Let's talk after this. You have my number. Thanks, Eli. Very thought-provoking session. I'm glad. This session was timely for me, especially since I decided to take my small business seriously. Opened my eyes to what's right under my nose and how possible it is for my business to thrive with the right audience. Thank you so much for this exclusive. I'm glad. I'm really glad. All right. Yeah, so that brings us to the end. If there's no other question, thank you for attending, for staying to the end. Thank you so much. A lot of people registered. As you can see, they're eating moi and Netflixing and chilling. But I hope that this has been wise use of your time and your data, and beyond the funny. I really do hope that you're able to take the things that we have talked about, the things that we've learned. For those of you that I will be continuing the journey with, whether it's you picking up something, guys, go pick up. I don't do things like this. 50% off. So whether it's that, or in a closer engagement, or not at all, maybe just emails, my prayer is that God will really guide you this year. He will tell you what to do, and he will give you the courage to obey, because sometimes God tells us, but we don't obey. That's my biggest prayer for you, that you're going to have the guidance of the divine, and that all things will work together for your good. As always, I'm cheering you up. Sometime in the next 1 week, I'm going to be releasing my calendar for the year based on faith. There will be opportunities to engage. There will be other things that will come up from time to time. When and if you can, take advantage of it. One thing I know about myself, and anyone who's been in my space can tell, is I am invested in the businesses that I work with. I genuinely, this is not about money, I genuinely, the businesses that pay me the most, I never talk about them because they are large organizations. It is a fact. Heaven is my witness. I don't talk about them, right? But I am vested in small and medium-sized businesses. I want to see us thrive. And if there's ever anything myself or my team can do, we will do it, right? So I'm rooting for you. I'm praying for your success. I hope that all things work together for you this year and beyond. Do you have a question? Okay.
No. I just wanted to I just wanted to say thank you so much. Usually I'm the type of person that has, I don't even think I used to really have goals per se, but I'll just have something in my head and I'll just carry it and I'll just, how they say it in pidgin English, I'll just rough and they go, that kind of thing. But I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for the conversation we had in December. I'm thankful for this conversation too now. I'm very thankful, ma'am.
You're most welcome. And I am rooting for you. I am. All right. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you. If you did not watch from the beginning, try and get the replay. I'm going to share it tomorrow so I can spend a bit of time with my family and go to bed. So I'm going to share that tomorrow. Please, the link is not opening. How come? It's supposed to be HillBridge. Why isn't it opening? Okay, I'm not sure. There's not supposed to be www.joy. It's just hillbridge.seller.co. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I don't want to keep you so much longer. We did an extra 1 hour. I can't even believe it. What? All right, take care. Have a good night rest, and best wishes always. Feel free to send me an email if there's something. Yes, I'm going to send an email. Okay, I'm going to send an email. Take care, everybody. Bless you. Have a fantastic 2025. If you read my emails, respond. Go and follow me on IG. Follow the bridge method.sme. Follow the bridge method.sme. There's a lot that is on my heart to keep sharing there. And I believe that it will be of value to your business. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a beautiful night rest. Bye.
Bye.